What's good, y'all? It's Nikki Trisha, aka the Fifth Food Steer here. In today's video, we'll be making sweet potatoes in the form of baby food. We're just gonna go straight into it, and right here you see me poking holes in my washed sweet potatoes. I have about 3 pounds of sweet potatoes here. I'm just gonna poke a few holes in them so while they're baking, the steam has room to escape and get those cooked nice and evenly. You want to poke these because they might explode in your oven. I'm kidding, they won't explode, but I don't know, I like poking them. Anyway, here I'm just gonna cover up the potatoes. Then next, that oven is gonna get cranked up to 425, and we're going to pop these bad boys in for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I like to keep mine in the oven as long as possible so they can really caramelize and get sugary, so I don't have to add anything to them. Totally unrelated to this video, but I was boiling hot water with pimento seeds for my cornmeal porridge, in which I love to make for my son. Anyway, moving along, these potatoes are finally cooked to the extent that I need them to be cooked, and I suggest to you to wait about 30 minutes to start to take the actual flesh out of the potatoes, because this step will hurt a lot if you don't wait. Or you can always be smarter than myself and use a dish towel or a napkin or something like that. Once we've got all that goodness scooped out of there, we're going to take all this flesh and put it in a high-powered blender. I suggest, if you do not have a high-powered blender, for about 3 pounds of potatoes, I would use from a half a cup to a cup of water and make this mixture a little bit more runnier, because you'll need to strain this actually, because there are a lot of strings in the potatoes, and which can be a choking hazard. A high-powered blender is a lot better because it's gonna allow the strings and everything to blend really well and be puree to where you don't even need to strain it. So if you don't have a high-powered blender, not a problem, but you'll just have to do an extra step, which will be to strain the potatoes. Here I actually did add a little bit of water, probably about a 1/4 cup, just to get things moving a little bit, because it kept getting stuck in the blender. So I just added a little bit of water. Before I prep for baby food, I usually like to give my son some of this fresh out of the blender. He loves it. It's pureed nicely. It's still warm, because, you know, like an idiot, I did pick the sweet potatoes while they were piping hot. This step right here is definitely optional. I like to add flaxseed or grounded oats to his sweet potatoes, or anything that's easy to kind of hide the taste of anything that I'm putting in there. I prefer like flaxseed because, you know, it has omega-3s and it's full of fiber, so just to give it a little, you know, the extra pizzazz, I guess. Here's the fun part, guys. Get your ice trays ready. I suggest you use a silicone ice tray if you can find them. I got this one at Target for 99 cents. It was on sale. The silicone ice trays are a little bit easier to use because when these are solid frozen, they're easier to get them out of the ice tray, and it just makes for easier cleanup. However, if you are using a regular plastic ice tray, you can also line the ice tray with saran wrap prior to putting the baby food in there. Once we have this tray all cleaned and straightened out, we're gonna pop these in the freezer for about 12 to 15 hours. Yeah, because you want them solid frozen. And for anybody wondering how that porridge came out, it came out really nice. No lumps, really smooth. Okay, you guys probably didn't care about how my porridge came out, but hey, I just want to show you, since it took a really long time for those ice cubes to get frozen, so hey, why not?
One eternity later.
Okay, so a million hours later, my ice cubes are finally frozen and ready to go. And here, guys, is where having the silicone ice tray comes in handy. Super easy to pop out. Not a lot of mess, not a lot of residue left over. Now in the event you don't have a pretty jar like you see here, you can totally use a Ziploc bag. It will work just the same. In the event that you need to take these on the go, you can use one of those gel line food containers. You can buy them at the dollar store. Here I have this one, and I popped it in the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours, and yeah, I just put the sweet potatoes in a Ziploc bag inside the container. And yeah, that is my rendition of pureed baby food. And you can totally use things like string beans. I use kale, sometimes mango, all different type of things. I just wouldn't use foods like bananas and just things that are very easily perishable because they don't make for good freezer foods. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave one down below. I respond back, and thanks for watching this video, guys. Please enjoy, and if you decide to make any of these baby food recreations on Instagram, please tag your girl. I would love to see them. Bye.